never. No, I ain't never gon' stop. Hustle till I make it, I ain't never gon' stop. Ball till I fall, I ain't never gon' stop. Never gon' stop. Never gon' stop. Shit, I gotta get it. I ain't stopping for nothing. I'm going hard till I get it. All I know is the hustle. My brother fresh out the slammer, yeah, and he be the muscle. If nigga get out of line, I guarantee he gon' flush him. Slum 1200 GGI mob shit, and I'm back. Shout out to my dude Jarrett out there 12 man. Free Jarrett. I'm gonna give y'all something on Jarrett out the 12 you know what I'm saying? Willow and Marlin Street. So this one of my mud brothers, you know, somebody I grew up with. Like we go way back, you know what I'm saying? We started running together probably around 10, 11 years old. Like we met each other probably around, I'm gonna say we met each other around 11 or 12 years old. Cause I met him through another one of my partners who's no longer with us right now. Long live Shitty. So I would meet Jarrett through Shitty, going around Shitty way, you know what I'm saying? Him being from around there. And we would get cool, you know what I'm saying? We used to call that boy Slim Dummy. Cause he just used to always be doing dumbass shit. But he would go on to do a lot of things, you know what I'm saying? And get caught up and go to jail. He was always josing, like since we was young. He always go back and forth to jail, you know what I'm saying? Do 3, 4 years, 5 years. Come home, go back to jail, 6, 7 years, you know what I'm saying? He was one of them to where he stayed in jail more than he actually stayed out of jail. Some type of way he laid up there and he went to jail for, I won't say he went to jail for like a murder or something down here. And stayed in jail for a while, but wound up coming home. And some type of way he wound up in Atlanta and wound up getting caught up in Atlanta. 2 sentenced for debts in Sandy Springs drug deal gunfight. So that's what they called it, a drug deal gunfight.
1 man is dead, 3 are on the run after a suspected drug deal.
I'm gonna read to y'all what they got. So it said the final chapter in a Sandy Springs drug case that left 2 people dead in a shootout was closed Wednesday with life and 45-year sentence handed down. Fulton County jurors convicted James Platt and Jarrett Dixon on multiple charges in the 2009 deaths of 2 men killed with a group of cocaine dealers and buyers opened fire on one another after both sides realized each was trying to dupe the other, police said. According to prosecutors, arrangements were made for a large amount of cocaine to be sold, but the sellers were actually selling fake cocaine and the buyers didn't intend to purchase the drug, but instead to rob the sellers. So this was a whole, they was going with the move, something like both, it looked like both sides was trying to go with the move. The people that was actually distributing the work was trying to go with the move, and the people that was actually buying the work was trying to go with the move. Ain't that crazy? So I'm gonna finish reading. So it says, during the gunfight, at least 4 weapons were used and 32 rounds were fired at the Sandy Springs apartment complex where the deal unraveled, prosecutors said.
Gunfire in a Sandy Springs apartment complex.
Antonio Clark, a buyer, and Santos Alcidios Valquez, a seller, were killed in a crossfire. Several others in a shootout were wounded. Dixon, convicted of murder, voluntary manslaughter, and weapons charges, was sentenced to a life plus 35 years in prison. Platt was convicted of voluntary manslaughter in the deaths of both victims. He was sentenced to 45 years in prison. 4 others were convicted in 2010 for their roles in the melee. Delmon Hilgu Hernandez and Rodrigo Gutierrez were convicted of murder and voluntary manslaughter and were sentenced to life in prison. Jose Rodríguez Diaz and Juan Melando, who were not directly involved in the killings, pled guilty to conspiracy to traffic cocaine and related gun charges. Antonio Lara Ladero, accused of brokering the deal on behalf of the sellers, remains at large, but is presumed dead after fleeing to Mexico, prosecutors said. So they feel like he got killed by I guess he went back over there and the cartels probably dealt with him. So he probably went over there and, you know what I'm saying, I guess the cartel probably got rid of him. He messed their bread up, you know what I'm saying? No telling how that played out. Got something else right here. So it say from the office of the Fulton County District Attorney, the last 2 men to stand trial for the deadly shootout that claimed 2 lives in Sandy Springs have been convicted. Jurors on last Thursday returned guilty verdicts against James Platt and Jarrett Dixon on multiple charges related to the September 2009 deaths of Antonio Clark and Santos Valquez. The victims were casualties of a drug deal gone bad.
Morning gunfire in a Sandy Springs apartment complex.
Defendants Platt and Dixon were part of a group of men who arranged to buy a large amount of cocaine from another group of men. In reality, the buyers did not intend to pay for the drugs, but to rob the sellers. The sellers in turn intended to sell fake drugs. That's all that shit. That's just so mind-boggling to me. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like that. Both of them trying to go with the move on each other. How ironic and how much of a coincidence could that be? To where we telling them that we probably want 2 books or whatever. Whole time we ain't intending to go pay for the shit that we telling them that we actually want. And then whole time they ain't intending us to sell the shit that we actually think they about to, you know what I'm saying, that we about to go with the move on. The shit we about to go with the move on ain't even what we actually think it is. Man, that shit just crazy to me. Like that's crazy. Like a double whammy. That's what you would call that. Like that was a real double cross for real.
1 man is dead, 3 are on the run after a suspected drug deal.
When a group realized that they were being scammed by the other, a shootout ensued in the Sandy Springs apartments where one of the gunmen previously convicted lived. At least 4 different guns were used to fire a total of 32 rounds. Antonio Clark, one of the buyers, and Santos Valquez, one of the sellers, were killed in the crossfire. Several men from each group were also injured in the melee. So bam, they all hit each other. Everybody strapped. Everybody just went to, you know what I'm saying? I wonder who realized who was going with the move first. I wonder if the actual sellers realized, the people who were saying that they got to work realized that Home and them was coming and trying to play games. Or I wonder if Home and them realized that they ain't really have no work to begin with, you know what I'm saying? And now they trying to go with the move on us, thinking that we actually got money. Man. Yeah, so it go to say who was injured. Several men from the group were also injured in the melee. Defendant Dixon, who was treated at a local hospital for his injuries, offered a bogus story about being robbed in East Atlanta. When questioned by authorities after an extensive investigation, detectives uncovered the truth and eventually arrested 7 men in the connection with the crime. Dixon was sentenced to life in prison, plus 35 years, after being convicted of murder, voluntary manslaughter, and weapons charges. And the dude, James Platt, got 45 years. Damn, man. That's crazy, though, man. Free that bitch Slim Dummy, though, man. Free that bitch Jarrett, man. They got caught up on some whole, that shit, that was just crazy, that whole situation, you know what I'm saying? Because I never even actually knew how the shit went down and none of that. I never even had read nothing about his case. You know what I'm saying? And just to read it, that shit crazy. That shit there crazy. I know y'all probably thinking the same thing, like, damn, what a coincidence, like, you know. Get in that comment section, hit that like button, make sure them notifications turned on, and hit that subscribe button if you already haven't, you know what I'm saying? Slum 1200 GGI.
I bleed the streets, I am the struggle. Yeah, I'm the struggle. I bleed the streets, I am the struggle. Yeah, I'm the streets. I bleed the streets, I am the struggle. Play the cuts like peroxide, waiting to bubble. Still trapping with this rapping, yeah, I'm going in. Trying to murder everything, even the pad and pen. No witnesses, no survivors. Red Cross, Glock fire, hot lava, head lost.